Yo, what's up guys, it's Zeo here, and today we're going to talk about the top 5 cards to beat Centurion, because that deck is going to be around, some people are going to try and win with it, so let's find out what kind of cards you need to beat. And keep in mind, this list, we're just trying to not get Calamity Locked, okay? That's my biggest fear for you guys. I don't want you guys to come up against this card and not be able to play the game. So with that being said, these cards won't work, alright? Let's just start that off. Do not put these cards in when you're going second, because if they go off at all and you're sitting on like 3 of these or whatever, they don't do anything. Like literally they just don't do anything. So with that in mind, let's start with the weakest of the top 5 cards. It's going to be a simple Ash Blossom. So there's really only one spot you can Ash Blossom, and that's on Primera. So obviously, the deck has extenders, so if you hand trap it once and it can still play, that's they had the extender. But if they only have the one Primera, then they aren't going to combo off, and that's just kind of like the best thing going for them. The next card is a little bit better because you can play against multiple different cards. So the Primera, obviously the Trudea, and then you could also hit the Legatia, because if they do not have another Primera set up in the spell trap zone, then they won't be able to synchro on your turn. So essentially, if they don't have the other extender, then they can't synchro on your turn, and so you stop the draw, make them commit a few cards onto the board and to the grave or whatever. But you also stop the Primera from coming on to the spell trap zone, which is the way they can Calamity Lock you. They synchro into it on your turn. So you prevent them from getting the Primera into the spell trap zone. That's also a good thing. But however, there's ways to play around that if they Primera search for a specific card. So it really depends on how they play it. And in the same way, Infinite Impermanence does basically the same thing Effect Value does, just slightly better, because you can use Infinite Impermanence on your turn too. But so you could hit the Crimson Dragon if you end up getting all the way to that point anyways. But for the most part, you're going to hit the same cards. The order of hitting, if you have multiple hand traps, I would go ahead and start firing them off against Primeras and Trudeas, and then Legatias. So like basically, you kind of just fire off earlier if you have more hand traps on kind of betting on they don't have extenders, so they just don't get to play. But you could also just eventually save it all the way until your turn if you only have one, and prevent the Calamity Lock. They could still make like a Cosmic Blazar Dragon, but however, that's still kind of sussy. But either way, you want to just be able to play. So Infinite Impermanence, definitely a good spot. But the best thing to prevent the Calamity Lock is going to be probably Cosmic Cyclone. Cosmic Cyclone on the Primera. I would most likely probably just wait for them to try and summon Primera to then Cyclone, because you don't want to do it too early, because if they have a way to get Primera back onto the spell trap zone, there's a couple Centurion cards that do that. If they have a way to do that, then you're still going to get Calamity Locked, even though you Cosmic Cyclone at one of the Primeras. So that's one of the risks that you could run. But obviously, if you just hit the Primera, like that's their only tuner. They have more tuners. Obviously, this changes. This is mostly for a pure build, but this is like the safest bet. And also you could hit the field spell. However, I think hitting their Primera is just better, because Primera searches a card. They could still Primera summon and search a card even without the field spell. And the field spell doesn't technically do anything on the next turn, because they're only able to place a Centurion monster on the turn they activate stand up. So don't get cheated by that. It's not actually real follow-up, it's just a field spell that just still exists. The best card, I think, the best hand trap for this is Ghost Ogre, because Ghost Ogre can be used to also guarantee the Primera does not hit the field, but also you can use it turn 1 as a hand trap when they go first. So if you have like Ogre and Imperms, you can use those in conjunction with each other. Cosmic Cyclone, there's something you have to worry about though, that's the field spell. They can chain block with field spell, so don't wait for like Primera to like hit the field that they can synchro right away. But also the field spell has protection. If there's a Centurion monster card on the field, it cannot be destroyed. So be careful of that. Don't get caught with your pants down. But if they start off with field spell, you can actually just Ghost Ogre if that's their only card on the field. So that's it's still like pretty solid. And yeah, I mean, easy top 5 cards. I don't want to go too crazy about it. The deck is still relatively new, so maybe some of these just suck. I don't think so, because I've been thinking a lot about this, but these are just solid cards to put in. Obviously, you're gonna always have Imperms and Veilers and Ashes. Ghost Ogre is a little format dependent, so yeah, a little bit weird on that one. But Cosmic Cyclone is also just a really good side card in general. So these are pretty obvious choices, and the obvious choices sometimes are just the best choices. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below, and let me know if you can beat the deck or not, because I'm not sure if anyone's gonna play it around me. But I'll see you guys later. Peace out.